Hey guys, Seth Cole here at the NASCAR Sports Channel. A lot of people, lots of people have put out their reactions to this mainstream video that's come out that's not even 2 minutes, and it's basically done with, I don't know if it's got a purpose really or not, except for taking the rage out on a camera and screaming at people and making about 50% of the headphone users' population completely deaf. But there's a video going around called "I'm Done with NASCAR." I believe the kid's 11 years old. He posted this video, and there's going to be some ironic things that are come out here that I'll talk about here in just a minute. But apparently he was watching the, I guess it was the AAA 500, AAA 400 at Texas last Sunday. And Jimmy Johnson ended up winning against Brad Keselowski. Let me play you the clip and then give you my reaction to it.
Jimmy Johnson, you better thank Casey Kane in your interview, because you would not have won this race without your teammates' help, okay? Brad Keselowski had this race, and you know it. You know it. Brad Keselowski tried to take you out, but no. What are you going to do? You're going to get Mr. Rick Hendrick to pay Casey Kane $4 million to crash? You retarded. I swear to God. I hope Brad Keselowski takes you out every single week for the rest of your racing career, you piece of garbage. I swear, Brad Keselowski had this win in the bag, and you ruined it. God, why would you do it? Why? You better thank Casey Kane in your interview, and Brad Keselowski, you're gonna win this championship. Or no, Hendrick's gonna fix it like all they always do. Oh my God. I hope Brad Keselowski. This is retarded. Why? We had it, and you ruined it. Here's the interview. He's 7 points behind! If this team right to wreck him, why didn't you do it? Why? If this team right to wreck him, why didn't you? Guys, I'm done with NASCAR. I'm probably not going to watch it again because it's a fixed card of garbage. So, screw NASCAR, I'm done.
Okay, so that's the full video. It's 1 minute and 59 seconds. Okay, he makes some points here that really, I don't know. I guess it's a common thing that when you get all upset and you get yourself into a rage, like he apparently was, he makes some accusations that really I don't think hold any validation whatsoever. Number one, he says that Rick Hendrick paid Casey Kane to wreck. Quite honestly, when I saw that video and I saw that argument he made, I went straight to the source. I watched a recap of Casey Kane's wreck. There's no indication whatsoever that Casey Kane purposely wrecked. I'll give you 3 reasons. Number one, Casey Kane wasn't the start of that tire going down. Greg Biffle was. So if you're going to make an accusation, you'd have to pretty much accuse Greg Biffle. But seriously, Greg Biffle, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, when that incident occurred, it was hard racing. You could clearly see it. Casey Kane was merely an innocent bystander when Greg Biffle turned Jeff Gordon up into him. Number 2, Casey Kane ended up 4 times. I counted it. If you watch NASCAR enough, if you listen to DW and Larry McReynolds talk about the working of the hands inside the car, the way the tires look with the way that the direction of the wheel is being turned, you would know. If you got enough experience watching it, you would know, based on the footage that was shown there, and obviously they're not going to take live action and take and fix something to make it look like something it isn't. There's no way that can be done. But Casey Kane, 4 times, I counted it, 4 times, kept his car off the outside retaining wall when that car was headed up there. 5th time, he wasn't able to do it. And did you notice that Casey Kane didn't slam the outside retaining wall? If he had turned his car up to the right side to be able to cause a caution, that car would have slammed into the outside retaining wall. Instead, it scrubbed the outside retaining wall. So therefore, Kasey Kahne, you can't bring him into this picture and say that he had something to do with Jimmie Johnson winning this race. There's no validation for it. Kasey Kahne tried to save his race car, and I said I would give you 3 reasons. Number 3, if Kasey Kahne was being paid by Rick Hendrick and he wanted to make sure a caution came out due to the fact that, and this is proven, that Jimmie Johnson came over the radio and said, I can't catch Brad Keselowski. But if Kasey Kahne was trying to help out his teammate by wrecking his race car, by bringing out a caution, why did he keep his car up on the outside line of the racetrack going down the back straightaway? Why didn't he come down to the apron coming out of turn 3 and spread debris all over the back straightaway so that way there was no chance of NASCAR not being able to throw a caution? I mean, come on. Seriously, there is no way you can bring Kasey Kahne into this scenario. No way you can bring Greg Biffle. No way you can bring Jeff Gordon. It was hard racing that just went awry for Kasey Kahne. Now, getting into the Jimmie Johnson situation here. I think that number 1, this video really did not need to necessarily be made by this kid because, number 1, what's it going to change? Yeah, you're giving your opinion. Yeah, you're yelling at the camera for about 2 minutes, but it's not going to change anything. Jimmie Johnson's the new points leader by 7 points over Brad Keselowski. He won the race. Circumstances, whether they be rigged or whether they be legit, ended up falling out into Jimmie Johnson's favor. Let's face it. Jimmie Johnson, Brad K., Kyle Busch, those were the 3 dominant cars of the night all night long at Kentucky. Yeah, you had a few drivers come in and lead a few laps here, a few laps there, but those 3 were the dominant cars. So therefore, and obviously, I think it's pretty much well known. I am the number 1, I guess. I don't know, probably not number 1, but I am a big-time Jimmie Johnson disliker. I do not like Jimmie Johnson, basically due to the fact that it just seems a little strange that every single season Johnson, it's always, he's struggling. Oh, he's really got to get going. Oh, he's in danger of falling outside of the top 35. That's at the beginning of the season. Get to the chase. Jimmie Johnson is the new points leader in the chase heading into race number 1. Jimmie Johnson wins here. He wins there. He wins everywhere. Oh my goodness, his car is wrecked at Kansas, but he comes away with a top 10 finish. Unbelievable. How does he do it? Guys, really, don't you just see something a little bit screwy here that's going on? I don't know for certain, I can't prove this, but I'm wondering if Tony Stewart won the championship last season because Jimmie Johnson and his team figured out, okay, we got to do something here, get the steam off of us of people saying that we're doing something wrong here, so why don't we just back off and we'll get them next season. I can't prove that. That's just an accusation. I can't give it any validation whatsoever. Just my opinion. But let's get to another thing that he talks about there in his video rant. He says that Brad K is 7 points behind. What's the big deal about that? We got 2 races to go. 7 points is 7 positions. Are you telling me that that's impossible? Okay, if he was maybe 50 points behind Jimmie Johnson, which is actually not something that would actually happen based on the fact of how close those 2 were, separated by only 1 point in the standings heading into the Texas race, but nonetheless, just giving an example, if he was 50 points behind, that's a different story. But he's only 7 points back. He's 7 points back. That can easily be made up in 2 races. You know, it's not as if Brad K has completely lost the championship, that Jimmie Johnson has the thing wrapped up. He hasn't. Phoenix, Homestead, we're heading to 2 more races. Brad K can pull it off. It is possible. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep a very close watch on that 48 car at both Phoenix and Homestead. Be watching carefully. See if cautions come out at opportune times for Johnson. See if Johnson's able to pull a rabbit out of a hat again. If so, I'm sorry folks, but I have a feeling that NASCAR is headed in for the likes of baseball and whatever sport may end up being paid big bucks to rig it to make something happen. Jimmie Johnson, it just seems like it's constantly happening where Jimmie Johnson's coming out of the woodwork once the chase begins and he's all of a sudden dominating everywhere. Brad K has been the only voice of reason to try and silence the chance of Johnson continuing on this streak of what seems to be non-legit wins, non-legit finishes, just things that seem to luckily come out and help Jimmie Johnson whenever he's in a bind. But Brad K, I'm telling you this right now. I certainly hope you do win this championship. I'm pulling for you, not just because Dodge is leaving. I'd love to see a Dodge win the championship. Not just because I'd love to see Roger Penske win a championship, but because you are one talented driver. And for you to, in your interview, say that it didn't seem right to wreck Jimmy Johnson, I'll tell you what, Brad Kay's come a long way in maturing, guys. I can think back to the days when he and Carl Edwards, he and Kyle Busch, they were always mixing it up, whether it be in Sprint Cup Series, whether it be in Nationwide Series. He has really matured. Brad Kay, I got a lot of respect for you, and I'm hoping you win this championship. So that's my reaction video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. We got a lot more races coming out here on the NSR Sports channel, so hope you'll keep it here, and I'll see you guys later. I'm out.